This episode is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the #1 seller of games and gaming accessories. And GatheringMagic.com, the #1 resource for Magic the Gathering news and articles.
Hey guys, my name's Greg, and this is my 8.5 Tails and Friends Commander deck. Alright guys, like the intro says, this is a 8.5 Tails Commander deck. Of course, everybody knows 8.5 Tails, 2 white, 2/2, legendary creature, Fox Cleric. For 1 and a white, target permanent you control gains pro white until the end of the turn, or tap 1 and target spell or permanent becomes white until the end of the turn. So, I mean, just make everything of your opponent's white, and then give your creatures pro white. But, like it says, this is a 8.5 Tails and Friends Commander deck. So, there's not only 8.5 Tails, there's 6 other possibilities for commanders for this deck. We have, next up, Mikaeus the Lunarch. Pretty much a X-White fatty. Yeah, you can make him a fatty. He's not a fatty right out the gate, but he can be made into a huge creature. Not really a main general I want for this deck, but I can, throw some equipment on him and make him pretty huge. Another one that's good with equipment, Kha Regent, because she makes cat tokens every time for each equipment you have on her. So she's pretty sick, making a bunch of cat tokens, and I have a lot of equipment in this deck, so she's pretty good. Next is Brigid, Hero of Kinsbaile. She's 2 and 2 white, 2/3, first strike, and tap her, and she deals 2 damage to each attacking or blocking creature target player controls. And to combat against combo decks, we got Gerrard Capashen, because a lot of combo decks have a lot of cards in their hand, so there it is, Gerrard Capashen. One of the newer editions, Avacyn, Angel of Hope, 5 and 3 white, 8/8, flying vigilance, and her and all other permanents you control are indestructible, which is really cool with a little piece of equipment that I have in here. And last but not least, Reya Dawnbringer, 6 and 3 white, 4/6, flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to play. So it's kind of my reanimation piece for the deck. Pretty sick. Okay, and so the land base is fairly straightforward. It's 30 planes for basic lands. And then as far as effect lands and utility lands, we got Quicksand for some creature removal, anti-flying creature removal anyway. Then for some ramp, we've got the Urza lands, power plants here, and then tower and mine are somewhere in this stack. Secluded Steppe for cycling. Mystifying Maze, Poor Man's Maze of Ith. This is a very budget-oriented build, so I figured throw this in there, and I got my Maze of Ith. There's the Urza's Mine. Sejiri Steppe gives creatures pro from a color, which is pretty nice. Haunted Fingraph, another reanimation piece for the deck. Temple of the False God, which is pretty nice to have for this deck. Some extra mana. Tower, the Urza's Tower. Ghost Quarter, pretty much the poor man's strip mine. Just blown up lands. And now we're in the creatures. For some card draw, we got Wall of Omens. And then just as kind of a blocker and life gain, we got Perimeter Captain. To stop them from looking in the libraries, got a Leonin Arbiter. And then for Artifact Recursion, we've got Salvage Scout. And In this deck, there's kind of a theme of destroying tapped cards, like tapped creatures. So, got Sunblast Angel for that. Soul's Attendant for some more life gain. Thraben Heretic to exile cards from like Reanimator deck graveyards. Gideon's Lawkeeper to tap the creature down for the sub-theme. Making my opponents sit on their hands and where they're not able to do anything. You know, Grand Abolisher is awesome for that. Kitesail Apprentice, because who doesn't like making big fatties that can fly? And she gets pretty huge when you put equipment on her. Leonin Relic-Warder, start exiling artifacts or enchantments, and then they just bounce back. For the equipment, kind of helping with the equipping, Puresteel Paladin, Kor Firewalker for anti-red, Kor Cartographer for some mana ramp, Selfless Cathar for pump, Unruly Mob to make it for a big fatty, because a lot of stuff dies in this deck. My 2-for-1 blocker with Doom Traveler, making my target opponents skip combat phases. More free equipping with Outfitter. More artifact recursion with Razor Hippogriff, and some bounce with Kor Skyfisher. One of the anthems or crusades for the deck. Exile non-angel cards, and then they just bounce back in. One big one for this deck, especially with Avacyn, is Day of Judgment. Gotta have that in there so I can get rid of the elf decks. Circle Protection Black, just to make my black play group players mad. Pro Colors, making human tokens for blockers. Celestial Purge for anti-red, anti-black. Artifact Destruction so I can gain life, and the artifacts, mainly the equipment cards. World Slayer, of course. Why not? Oh, there's still more spells here. Visions for looking at their cards and then messing them up. Puresteel, getting rid of enchantments and gaining life. Of course, everybody's favorite card, Cataclysm. Who doesn't like making them wipe the board? More creature regeneration with Death Ward. More exiling with Oblivion Ring. The White Lightning Bolt, Sunlance. Making it to where they can't attack or block or activate abilities. Who doesn't like the rest? Cathar's Crusade. Because who doesn't like getting bonuses for every creature you play? Define Deflection is pretty much just for, you know, getting in damage and then bouncing it back at them. And then the rest of the artifacts. Of course, you know, first up you got the Origin Spellbomb. Because who doesn't like Origin Spellbomb? Card draw, make a mirror token, all that good stuff. Swiftfoot Boots, because it's my version of Lightning Greaves. I don't have the money for Lightning Greaves, and I couldn't find them, so. Icy Manipulator, tap stuff down so I can blow it up. Avacyn's Collar, pretty much, you know, making everything Doom Traveler. More card draw with Infiltration Lens, making things huge with Trusted Machete. Card draw, don't really need it for the mana ability, just need it for the card draw. Kind of a control element for the deck, for Phyrexian Revoker, pretty nice. This one actually won me a lot of games. more equipment with venturing gear, Sylphic Life Staff to gain life. There's nothing like attaching this to Doom Traveler and just blowing him up. It's awesome. Moonsilver Spear turns everything to Geistus Ain't Traft. Pretty cool. But the Angel tokens stay, so it's really awesome. And last but not least, Gideon Jura, so I can start destroying my opponent's creatures. So, yeah, I mean, really don't want to use his so-called ultimate, but definitely want to start destroying creatures with him. So, but alright guys, there it is. Thanks for watching CMDR Decks. Please subscribe and favorite.